Okay, so today what we're going to do is we're going to look at some more information about angles. We're going to look at something called angle properties. All right? So we're going to be talking about different aspects that angles have that are important for us to as we move forward. Okay? So we're going to look in the book, and we're going to look at these one by one. Most of this is simply memorizing the terms and associating the right term with the right thing. So draw the picture as well as writing down the names, okay? All right, so we're just going to go to the book. Here we go. Now, first thing is they talk about angles on a point or at a point. And we hit on this briefly, but we didn't really talk about it. So angles at a point just mean that you have 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, whatever angles, but several angles that meet at a common point. So, right? So they all meet at a common point. So you have all these lines going into a point, and you're measuring the angles between them. And angles at a point always add to 360 degrees. And you can see that because if you put all of these three angles together, it makes a complete circle, right? A complete revolution. So therefore, it's 360 degrees. Make sense? Okay.
Do we draw them?
I would draw a picture of so an example. You bet. Because you're going to have to recognize those pictures. The next property that you must remember is angles on a line. Well, that makes perfect sense. It's angles that combine to make a straight line. Oops. Okay, so then when you combine them, you make a straight line. Okay. And angles on a line always add up to 180 because they combine to make a straight angle, which is what we learned before, right? And a straight angle always measures 180. The next property that you must know is something called supplementary angles. Now, this goes back to the idea of angles on a line. Supplementary angles are simply angles that add to 180. Now, let me show you why that's important and what's going on. Okay? If you're asked to find the supplement of an angle, then say you had 100 degrees, the supplement of 100, you would just take 100 subtracted from 180. So what would its supplement be? 80 degrees. Right? So supplements have to add together to give you 180 degrees. Make sense? Okay. All right. The next one is angles in a right angle. Well, duh. What do you think angles in a right angle do? They add to give you 90 degrees. Right. So angles in a right angle add to give you 90 degrees.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm. Okay. It can be several angles. It doesn't matter, but it's usually just two.
Is that a picture with it?
Yep. That's your picture right there.
So angles that are...
Angles in a right angle are angles that in a right angle they add, or you just write this stuff in the blue box. Angles in a right angle add up to 90 degrees, or add to 90 degrees. Now, angles that add to 90 degrees also have a special name, just like the ones that add to 180, and they are called complementary angles. So angles which add to 90 degrees are called complementary angles, or complements. Now, and you can think of complement and corner both start with the same CO, right? Okay. And I used to tell my students that supplement, what's the biggest meal of the day? Dinner, also known as supper, right? Yeah, y'all don't use that language here, but in Texas we do. All right, so supplement, the biggest one, so 180. Complement, corner, so 90. Shh. Don't mess up my recording. All right. Okay. And one other property for lines or line segments which meet at 90 degrees. So lines or line segments which meet at 90 degrees are said to be perpendicular. So it's kind of the opposite of parallel. Right? Parallel means they go on never without touching. Perpendicular means they cross at exactly 90 degrees. So perpendicular. Okay. So, all right. So what we're going to do is, oh, we got one more. Sorry. This one is kind of a no-brainer. Two angles are equal if they have the same size or degree measure. Size, degree measure means the same thing. You can write that down or not, doesn't matter to me, but it's important that you remember it. Okay? It's underlined, so you should probably write it down if you don't think about it. But just kind of think about it. Right?
So those two have the same name?
No, just equal.
So those
Right? So, yeah. So this angle would be equal to another right angle, right? Because they have the same measure, 90 degrees. Okay? None of those up there are equal, right? Because they're all different measurements, aren't they?
What if it's 91 degrees? Is it still a right angle?
No. Only exactly 90 degrees has to be for a right angle. If it was 91 degrees, what would it be? So let's look at a couple of these. Come on. Add the following pairs of angles and state whether they're complementary, supplementary, or neither. So, got your calculators that you're supposed to have out every day?
I broke mine, but you never learned to do.
Okay. So, first, we'll do A. 109 degrees plus 70 degrees equals how many degrees? 180 degrees. Therefore, those two angles are called what? Supplementary. Supplement. Supper, the big one, right? Okay. Let's look at this one. Look at E. 25 degrees plus 55 degrees equals 80 degrees. Does that mean they're complementary, supplementary, or neither? Neither. It's not one of the special cases. Right? Yes, corner, 90 degrees, right? All right? Okay. Look at 2A. Find the size of the angle complementary to 15 degrees. Complementary means how many degrees? 90. So 90 minus 15 equals?
75.
75 potatoes?
No.
Degrees. There we go. Okay? Is all good? All right. Look at this one. Shh, guys. So look at these. We're gonna guys, come on. We're gonna do these. So angle COA. So it's COA. So that angle, right? You might use colored pencils for this or something. And angle COE. COE. If you put those together, they go like that. So therefore, they make the straight angle. So they are supplementary. Make sense? So you can do it with numbers, or you can do it with a drawing. Let's look at D. COE. No, 180 is supplementary. DOB. So DOB. Doesn't make a straight line or a right angle, does it? Shh. No, this is just an obtuse. They combine to make an obtuse angle, therefore it's neither. Okay? All right? No. Well, in here we do. Okay. So here we go. Find the value of the unknown. We're going to go to the homework. So look at 6A. Shh. So this line is a straight angle. Therefore, these two angles have to add up to make what? 180. So 180 degrees minus the 55 I know leaves me what?
125.
So therefore, P is 125 degrees. Right? So if you know that they're on a straight line, just subtract them from 180. What if they were in a corner like this? So that means I'm going to be subtracting from... Okay. All right? Well, that's two parts you know. So what do you have to do with those? Add them together. Or subtract them all. You could do 180 degrees minus 39 degrees minus 47 degrees gives you the total. So
You have to find out 2 parts. Do you just minus 38 and then divide it by 2?
they're the same, yeah, because they're the same piece. Together. Look at this one. What do I know? What do I have here? That's not a straight angle or a...
It's it's not. A cube. No, it's a cube. It's reflex angle.
It's a reflex angle. There you go. And reflex angle is always the measure of the whole revolution. So 360 degrees minus that reflex angle. So minus the 94 will give you the R. Okay? All right? Okay. So y'all got some studying to do, kids. All right. Okay? And that's where we're going to stop. So you see these. So all of these things all make a full circle. So therefore I'm subtracting from what?
360. Can we do it now?
Okay? All right. So your homework is exercise 2C. All of it. Exercise 2C on page 43.